Hey everybody, Terry Butler from Mama Said So, and I've been working on my steampunk Mona Lisa jacket, and I've been getting flooded with questions that I thought I'd just put out a quick little video answering a few. First of all, the pattern. This is the template I've created. It has 5 sizes on it, and I'm printing those, and those will be available on my website. Then the next thing I do after I have my template, I grab some of this traceable, it's a Pellon product, but it's a tracing material, and that also will be included in the template when you buy it from me online. And then the next thing I do, okay, I leave this folded actually. I trace all the parts after I've determined the size that I need. And I need a full, what they call a full pattern. And this template is just half a pattern. So what that means is the back is on the fold where it's marked, and you'll need a pair of fronts. You'll need a mirror image of that template. So you'll need a right and a left front and a right and a left sleeve. And so what I do is trace. I just put the fold of the tracing material right on the fold here and trace around it, and then I move it up and trace my front with this doubled, so you'll have a right and a left, and the same thing with the sleeve. So what I end up with is the pattern that I need. I transfer all the markings, and I put I label right on there. The double notches on the back, I label L for left and R for right. I label face up. I just put the size on it, and I draw the center seam, or the center of the back. Just draw a line there for alignment if I need it. And then for the sleeves, same deal. I have a pair of sleeves, so I make sure that I put face up on them, and then here I'll have a double notch here and here, which makes me know that that is a pair. And then I also write left sleeve, right sleeve on the correct one. And then the same thing with the fronts. I have the center front line, and then the left and right front and the size, and I write face up. Also, I forgot to mention, I do put a center line down the center of the sleeve like that. Now once I get that done, I know that all I have to do is create fabric that will fit under each one of these pieces. So the next thing I do is go over and I look at my panel, and I decide, okay, what am I gonna do? Where is Miss Mona Lisa going to be? Is she going to be sideways? Is she going to be peeking around somewhere? What's going to happen? And so I kind of hang around the wall. I hang her right up on my design wall, and I just look at it for until the idea strikes me. So on my horse jacket, I decided to put the main image of the panel, split it up a bit. So I had it wrapping around the side of the body and then on the sleeves. And hopefully I'm showing you a picture of that up here. But what I decided here was I was going to make my jacket much longer. So I'd split her, not exactly down the middle, but split her on the side. So I thought it would be cool to put that hot air balloon right about up there, and her face all on one side. So I align my center lines of my right and left front, just so that I could kind of see how it might turn out. And then I adjusted it a little this way, a little that way, till I got the way what I liked. Now, knowing this means I'm going to have a full panel just to do this, because I'm going to need a seam allowance here. And on this one, I'm going to need a full panel because this piece has to come all the way out to here, and that overlap won't work with one panel. So I know I have to have 2 panels for that. We're getting a little bit down in the weeds here, but after I made all my decisions, I knew I was going to make it longer because I wanted to use this whole panel. The next thing I did was knew I had to make something great for the back. And I wanted to make my back long, and I wanted to make it flare out a bit. So what I did was I just pretty randomly made a line here, and I cut that triangle out so that I ended up with a back that looked like this. And then I took those wedges and I just added those to the sides just to spring it out, or to spread it out. And then I had my my fronts. I went ahead and stitched the side seams in, so I knew I had to make one big piece of fabric this big. So this is what ended up happening. I lined this up on the center of this section I made, and I spread it all out. And trust me, I did trace around that with a friction pen to make sure that my alignment was all good. There we go. And so I just built a big piece of fabric, and where the panels and this section I made came together, I took my hexes and I just covered up that seam and tried to kind of match the panel a little bit. So, and I did the same thing on this side. And then I kind of overlapped it a little bit to make it kind of blend. And now I have one giant piece for my back and my right and left front. The next thing I did was took hexes, and I just pieced together hexes that were cut from panels. And I just built a right and a left sleeve. And because on this particular panel there was so many dark hexes, I decided to salvage one of the just a solid piece and make her eye peeking out of that sleeve. So now with everything pieced, I'm ready to go to the long arm. Stay tuned.